Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. Can you believe it's me? I can't believe it's me, but it is. So, with that said, people, let's talk. Um, do you realize that today marks 4 days of the S&P 500 being negative? Two of those days were pretty bad since the MMRI crossed 250. The last time I looked at it, 254.9. Now, we heard from it today, the supreme exalted mystic Federal Reserve, and their minutes were pretty, frankly, what you would expect from an institution that is hell bent on destroying and is very successful at doing this. Hell bent on destroying. Don't do the freaking ghoul. Oh, anyway, the Fed is hell bent on destroying the economy and its people. So this is, you want me to summarize the Fed minutes for you? And I love this. Just pay attention for a nanosecond here. Fed minutes, ongoing rate increases as appropriate. They love that word appropriate. Okay. Remember when they were trying to achieve their 2% goal with regard to inflation as appropriate? Well, not only did we overshoot that, but we overshot that by like miles. Okay. Thank you, Crypto King. Anyway, that's where we stand. Get in touch with me through my newsletter. All of you here should be subscribed to my free newsletter. I hope you are. Anyway, people. So what the Fed said today did rattle the market. Let's cover that a little bit. Market started off positive despite the MMRI being over 250. Okay. Once the Fed minutes came out, market went negative. We were all over the place. I mean, we're talking about extreme volatility, as you would expect when an announcement is made, kind of like this here. Then as this as appropriate thing came out, then the market fell under pressure. And the last 5 minutes of this market, some heavy buying happened, pushed the NASDAQ positive, actually. But thank you, Diana. But negative for the Dow, negative for the S&P 500. That's 4 days. And with the MMRI sitting at 254.9, we'll see. Again, some action must be taken here to stabilize the debt market, which is clearly unstable. We are existing in a perpetual state of illiquidity, and without more debt pumped into the system, well, we're just done. This market is just done. The financial system is already in free fall, along with the rest of the economy. It's just absolutely insane here. Now, on the war front, this war is expanding. Obviously, more funding, a lot more funding, especially courtesy of the American people, is going to be sent over there. China is now saying, "Thank you, VV Silver." Wow. Very impressive. That's adorable. Anyway, yeah. So China is saying that to protect their interests, they are willing to back Russia here. You remember yesterday we had President Imbecile. The man is brain dead. And look, a lot of people, some people, believe it or not, think I am picking on the man because of his age. I have never picked on the man because of his age. He's elderly. He's a freaking zombie. He's zombified. That's just the way it is. Okay. So when I talk about the man being brain dead, it has nothing to do with age. You could be brain dead at any age. Okay. This guy here yesterday, basically declaring war on Russia. And then today, what would you expect? And look what they're doing here. They're setting the groundwork for a much greater, much wider war. Wait for the false flag, people. A false flag is coming, and thousands and thousands of people are going to die, just like every other false flag prior to the one that is coming. When is it coming? I have no idea, but I don't think it's far off. I'll tell you the truth, because again, the saber rattling is getting worse. It's getting louder. It's getting more extreme. What would you expect? World War II has clearly begun. Anyway, with that said, going back to the market here, we had commodities getting hit pretty good, except for natural gas. Natural gas put on like 4% today. Crude oil got hit. Gold and silver got hit. Cryptocurrencies got hit. Relative strength of the dollar stronger. That played a lot into what's happening here. Although the 10-year yield today didn't do too much, it was the relative strength of the dollar that pushed the MMRI higher. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty much glued to the MMRI all day. I'm not lying to you. I watch it all day. And it was interesting to see how it responded. Initially, after the Fed minutes, we had a little drop, and then it crept back higher here. I'm telling you again, and I'm going to keep telling you, without intervention, direct intervention from central banks, buying more debt, none more so than the Fed, getting in here and buying more. This is just it. This is all about to change. We'll just have to watch and see how this is going to play out here moving forward. Anyway, I do, of course, want to hear from you. Let's. There's a lot of people here right now. There's over 1,000 people here. There's 1,122 people here. What do we collectively believe is going to happen? Do you believe that this is really it? The Fed, we're going to watch the MMRI, 255, 260, 270, 300. I can pretty much say if we hit 300, this market is going to be a lot lower than it is right now. So where do you believe, or what do you believe the Federal Reserve is going to do? Central banks, are they going to get in here and buy more? Are they going to stabilize the debt market, or are they ready to pull the plug on this? I mean, look, the dogs of war have already been released, okay? And they're going to start biting, and I mean seriously, moving forward. There's just no doubt about it. This is what they're going to do. They need this mechanism here to pull cash into the now from the future. That's just the way it goes here. Where does all the cash come from to finance wars that we don't have? Comes straight out of the Federal Reserve. Central banks around the world are more than willing to fund any war moving forward because they get to inflate. You understand? All these stuff you're not allowed to see off balance sheet central banks. Thank you, Mark. That's where we're at. But honestly, look, your guess right now is as good as mine, seriously, with regard to what the Fed is going to do. Are they going to get in here and start buying more or not? Because if they don't, and we start seeing and we continue to see the MMRI climb, I mean, the market's going to get slammed. I mean, we got how many warnings? We got like 4 major Wall Street banks warning of something about to happen. We got Burry, we got Rickards, and me personally, what have I been telling you over the last several days? It's time to limit I believe sincerely, and I'm not saying to run for the hills. I'm not saying to even short the market right now. I am saying that you need to limit your exposure to the long end of the market. I generally buy JEPI at every chance I can as of late. I have not bought any as of late. I'm just kind of sitting here in my position watching where the dominoes are going to fall here. But the propagation of war, the expansion of war has now entrenched itself into the current situation. And with that, if they do expand this war initially, what would initially happen? Let's just say, for example, we get a false flag event. So a whole bunch of people are just wiped out, caught up in this whole thing here. I believe the market would take an initial hit, okay? But I do believe that once the war actually got started and starts to get even worse, we would see this market not just rebound, but rebound a lot. Why? Because again, the military-industrial complex, this is how they function here. It's a war economy. That's why there's perpetual war. And the expansion of war is the number one way to pull cash into the now, to get industry to start picking up. You understand? That's how it works. And that's why we're marching right into, we're right in it right now. This is World War III. So just wake up. And alliances have been getting made for a long time. Alliances are getting solidified right now. Why would China want to align themselves with Russia? I mean, there's a multitude of reasons here. But although China gets probably most of its oil from the Middle East, they get a lot of it from Russia too. And what is crude oil? It's the lifeblood of this entire freaking thing, people. So you can just imagine where this is going to go here moving forward. You can count on this. You can count on all this getting a lot worse. But what does that mean for you and me? Are we going to stop doing what we're doing? Is anything going to prevent us from betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks, understanding that the global debt is going to balloon even worse than, way, way worse than where we are right now? Currency devaluation is going to get a lot worse here. Okay, the relative strength of the dollar may look all lovely and pretty. Oh, it's just beautiful. But collectively, central banks are killing their currencies. It's a collective race to the bottom. You all know that. Understanding that gives us incredible strength moving forward. Let them play their games with commodities. I'm telling you, let them do what they got to do. But I'm telling you, you know where this is going to go. Thank you, Julie. It's a no-brainer in my view. Anyway, that's it, man. It's just a freak show on an unprecedented scale. Makes you want to freaking throw up all over my desk, which is a total mess right now. But that's besides the point. So with that said, people, let's cover some questions from all of you guys and girls out here. And look, I think for the most part, we got this down. We know where we're going. Now, you see, here's the situation. We know who the main players are. We know what their goals are. Okay. Do you think it's going to stop? Do you think it really matters whoever they choose to put behind the Resolute desk? Honestly, I hope a lot of you here are not stuck into that mindset. It does not matter. Okay. Central banks for over an entire century have been solidifying their stranglehold on the world. They have a long-term plan here. What we're living in is the side effect of what central banks have put in motion from a long time ago. They are the puppet masters. They are the ones pulling the strings. The rest of this does not matter at all. Okay. I know there are a lot of people stuck in that. I don't know what you'd want to call it. The Roman mentality of deification of emperors here, or something along those lines here, man gods. No, there's no such thing. This whole thing is taken on a completely, it's been on the same trajectory for a very long time. It's just accelerating much faster as we move forward through time and space. And there's nothing at all that's going to prevent central banks from fulfilling their goal. And right now we're watching the wheels bring us closer and closer to a world war. Thank you, Melanie. That's where we are going. You understand? It's the goal here. And on the back of that, as you all, I think, are well aware of, I believe there's going to be a large, the population of the world is going to be probably cut in half. As we move forward and this whole thing. The less people are easier to control. The entire environment is about control. You understand? I think most of you do, honestly. That's where we stand today. Anyway, honestly, that's, I don't know what else to say about that. All right, so let's, I'm not even going to go there with the BLOWP ponies thing, okay? It's out of control. Harry, thank you for that. Yeah, the black swan. A black swan is going to come. Absolutely, it's going to come. And I hate thinking about it because it's going to be the same MO that they always do. They're going to kill tens of thousands of people this time. Probably not even 1 or 2 or 3 or 4,000 like they did during Pearl Harbor and the 9/11 events here. We're talking about probably something much larger here because I don't think the world wants. We don't want to get involved in another world war. So they need something shocking, a shock and awe in order to get the people to back another war. That's really the truth. I think people are sick and tired of war. I think most people out here want peace. We want to love each other, care about each other, be charitable here. But no, they have divided us all, and that's how they win here. How has the minority been able to control the masses since time immemorial? By dividing everyone, by keeping us separated by race, religion, color, creed, age, whatever it might be, whatever they can think about. They're going to get these people to hate these people and these people to hate these people back. That's how they extort control out of the masses. You understand? We've been warned. We've been warned by some people, some pretty lofty people throughout the ages, and we've all heard the same things. But as you can see, No one seems to listen. No one wants to listen. Anyway, that's the situation here. Anyway, with that said, my lovely friends, what else you want to talk about while I got you here? Exactly. We are in an absolute crisis. Okay. There is crisis everywhere. This is Alvaro, and yeah, that's how we function now. It's a crisis to crisis to crisis mechanism, and each crisis, in case you haven't noticed, requires more funding. Okay, we got to throw cash at warp speed vaccines. We got to shut down the economy, so we have to do this here. We have to fund wars, so we have to do that. You understand? It's a crisis to crisis mechanism, and the crisis to crisis mechanism is again what they've forced upon all of us. We can't have a normal functioning global economy anymore. And who runs it? Who runs the economy? Who runs the financial system? Who runs the markets? Duh. Okay, it's the central banks. They control it all. Whoever controls the cash controls the freaking world here. All right. Everything else is just conversation. Whoever they want to put a mummified guy behind the Resolute desk. They want to put a guy there with a real bad complexion and a funky hairdo behind the Resolute desk. That's all well and good. Don't matter. Okay. This goes back to the Roman emperor, imperial cult religions they had back in the day. Thank you, Vivi. Where they deified, emperors and rulers of state. It's an incredible thing. And I think there are some people here that would like to see that come back. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to work. If you go back throughout the ages, these man-god deification things, all they do is bring division to the world, hatred to the world, death, and societies that collapse. I mean, seriously, anyway. What else are we going to do here? Biden already bought it. Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's what we got, people. And here on the bracing against the U.S. dollar. Well, of course, look, here's the deal with regard to, there's a question here about the U.S. dollar reserve status. To have the world's reserve status is an incredible opportunity for that nation because it gets to export inflation to the rest of the entire world. Thank you, Sly Team. Thank you for that. Sure, Richie Allen show. Absolutely. Have him contact me. I'll do it. But that's the truth here. Any nation, and just happens to be the United States right now, that has the world reserve currency, when that happens, the number one product of that nation is they get to export inflation to the rest of the world. And now we're seeing it come back here. Okay, right now, as central banks are destroying their currency. But that's the deal. Whatever nation gets to have the reserve currency gets to have that benefit. And I think the rest of the world, frankly, is getting sick and tired of the United States exporting its number one product, again, inflation, to the rest of the world. And that's another reason why you're seeing things go where they are. Honestly, and if any of you are dreaming, fantasizing, or spraying your shorts that there's going to be a return to a gold-backed, commodity-backed system, you're way off course. You're going to adjust your compass here. The central bank's power resides in one thing, and that is their ability to issue debt. They will kill, maim, slaughter, and wipe out millions, central banks, to keep their power. Central bank's power is one thing, their ability, again, to inflate, to issue debt. This is how they have their power. Without that, they got nothing. And they're the ones right now that are controlling everything. Here in the United States, the Federal Reserve has the full backing of the U.S. military, including its nuclear arsenal. And they will point that at anybody, inward or outward, enemies, foreign or domestic. Yeah, I took that oath. I'm sure a lot of you did too. Anyway, it is quite a situation that we're in, people. But look, we got each other. What do I tell you all the time? Love each other, to care about each other, to be charitable. I'm not the first guy to say that. It certainly won't be the last. If we could all adopt that mentality, we could save the world. But the fact of the matter is, there's too much hatred. There's too much division. Okay. And unfortunately, that's how all societies fail. Corruption. What we're seeing here, alliances, as I have said, it's terrible where we're going right now, and I don't know, it's really going to affect everybody on this planet. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in the richest neighborhood on the planet or the poorest. Everyone's going to get affected by this. Absolutely. Anyway, no, the system can't be fixed because, again, this is here, but it cannot be fixed. It's really the truth here, Darren. It can't be fixed. Done. It's over. The situation is what it is, and we are all being pulled along, strung along by the puppet masters, and these are the central banks. What do I tell you all the time? We need an uprising. We need a revolution here. We need to get rid of these institutions, but just try it. The Federal Reserve has their own police force. Do you know that? Again, they are backed by the United States military and its entire arsenal. How do you combat that? I don't know how you do it. It's absolutely out of control. Anyway, people, that's the story. That's where we're at. These live streams do get kind of interesting, I must say. Look, what I love about these things is, look, I sit here and I'm looking at these comments. It gets my brain going. And look, I love to talk about the markets. It's very interesting to watch the MMRI and the freak show over there and everything else. But, this whole thing, it just all just kind of ties together. And you and I are key components in this. We are the resistance. We are the resistance, honestly. I really believe that with all I got, honestly. All right, people, look, I think that's going to be about it. And how can they discharge the debt? The entire system is debt-based. Without compounding the debt, this whole thing stops. The system you believe exists freezes. You think the cash you have in the bank would be safe? It's gone. All of it. It's debt-based. There's no discharging debt forgiveness, nothing of that sort. It must be added on exponentially, and it can't stop ever without the continual, relentless, in perpetuity, inflating of debt, creating reasons to pull more debt into the now, warp speed vaccines, and everything else you can think about here. It's just done. You can only imagine what's coming next here. Again, the system is dying. The current system is dying. And they know that. This is why you're seeing this vast expansion of global debt. Thank you, Andrew. It just can't stop. A reset to a new system is coming. Their system, again, completely fiat, completely digital. They want to track every single transaction that you make down to the 1,000th, 10,000th of a cent. You understand? There's no freedom anymore. You think this is the land of the free, home of the brave? What are you free to do? Okay, you live in their system. They dictate what you do. We all transact in their system, which keeps us locked into it. Okay, all of us work for these Federal Reserve notes that we don't even own. Okay, these are owned by the issuing central bank, whatever you may be in the world, and owed back to the issuing central bank plus interest which they create out of nothing. Try to sidestep that system and see what happens to you. All right. That's where we're at, people. I could go on and on and on with this stuff. You must become your own central bank, people. That's the only way I think we can save ourselves from this perverted system and becoming your own central bank. People ask me all the time. It's so easy. It's right here. Here, physical gold and physical silver. These things have been real money for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Thank you, Patty Ullman. Anyway, you know what? Look, we're all learning. I'm learning too. I just have to be doing this a little longer than most of you. But that's the situation here, people. All ghoul face, don't even say the word. Guys, come on. I have like Tourette syndrome whenever I think about the ghoul. And this hurts when I do it. Thank you, the amazing Mystico. Wow, people, I tell you. Anyway, look, I don't care what they do. I really don't care what they do. They can do whatever they want to us. I feel terrible about the current situation, but we have each other. And that's really what I count on, is you and I understanding this thing and then getting the word out there, letting people understand what's going on. Most people they have no conception at all. Zero. about how the system actually works. They really believe that there's Democrats and Republicans that rule the world, and it really matters who sits behind the Resolute desk or anywhere else in the freaking world. Don't matter at all. That's just an illusion. Like the entire financial system is an illusion. It doesn't actually exist. It's not on the elemental chart. You understand? They've created an entire alternative thing that they try to convince people is real. Absolutely. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. You want to know what this is all about? Thank you, Carlos. You'll have a better idea of what this really is. Nothing is what it seems to be. I've been telling you this for an entire decade. Nothing is what it seems to be. You need to question everything. What you think is real probably isn't. Okay? You got to dig deep. You got to look underneath things that you wouldn't think about looking underneath to actually find where truth actually is. People know the truth when they hear it. It's the truth, honestly. All right, look, I just I got to get going here. And thank you, Redbeard Racing. Oh man, Coco's not around here. He's roaming around somewhere out there. Anyway, people, look, I love all of you. I mean that from the heart. We are a family. We are a family, all of us around the world. There are hundreds of thousands of us. It's an incredible thing, and I really wish we could get this to grow even bigger. And I know there's an effort to keep channels like mine suppressed, to keep the truth from people from hearing this kind of stuff. Who knows how much time I have out here? I don't know. We'll see. But that is it, people. Again, I'll see all of you. This is a long video. I'll see all of you in the morning. I hope you got something out of this. If you got something out of this, please let me know in the comment section, and I appreciate it. And again, I love hearing from all of you. This is a fantastic thing. I will see you in the morning for my usual pre-market report, and we'll do this live thing again tomorrow, and we'll cover even more of this thing, this yet to be defined thing that we are all in. All right, I'm out of here. Take it easy.